Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Jalen Says. And today we are going to be with Mr. Omar Gooding. But before we get on, you know what time it is. It's sponsor time. So up first we got on time sunwear for sunwear that's always on time. For sunwear in the winter, the fall, the spring, the summer, casual wear, business wear, fun party wear, any type of wear, on time sunwear's got it. Please check out on time sunwear in the description below or check out them on Instagram. Also, we have the Mitchell's Academy of Music and Dance. I have been with the Mitchells for um like 2 years now. Oh, going on almost 2 years now. So it's been an incredible time. The Mitchells, they love the music, they know the music, they feel the music. It's pretty incredible. And Mr. Mitchell, he's performed for countless people, countless venues. He is really incredible at what he does, and he has a real love for the music. And you could tell that by just walking the room and hearing him play. So if you have a passion for music and or dance, please check out the Mitchell's Academy of Music and Dance. Now, to get this interview started off, let's get into a lot of stuff that he's about to be in and a lot of stuff that he does. Now, Mr. Omar Gooding, he is a household name. I mean, if you say his name, at least some person knows him, and that's an understatement. All right, he is doing a lot of things. He is an actor. He is a comedian. He is a rapper. He is incredible. He is also a loving father, and what he does, it's just incredible. I mean, he's been in a ton of TV shows. He actually a week ago now was just down in Macon at the Macon Arts Center doing some comedy, and he has a lot of things right here. He's funny AF, a comedy show. He's also going to be performing a lot of places. So we'll get into that. Now we're just waiting for him to get inside the thing. But I guess we also get this started a little bit ago. Miss Heaven Hightower invited me to be a youth entertainer honoree for her Heaven Help One Help All. It's part of Heaven Help One Help All Foundation's the Consolation Award annual award ceremony, and it's pretty cool. It's going to be happening May the 11th, 3 p.m. So if you have the time to check it out, please check it out. And also, we are doing a lot of other stuff with Pan African Festival, which is coming up. We just recently, if you've been watching, I just did the thing called Youth Says History Month, something I hosted, something I came up with first time, and it was basically just bringing youth together to perform and show what they can do. And I have a lot of more things like that planned, and it's pretty great. And also, I guess to keep the chit chat going, I'm getting more into cooking and stuff like that. There's a lot of things happening for me. Um, there's a lot of opportunities, I'd say, that's going on, and it's pretty incredible. I'm trying to improve my expertise in it, but give us 1 second, and he'll be right here. Hey guys, I'm back, and we're just waiting for him to get inside the studio right now. But he is an incredible entrepreneur, and I could see that because he's been in tons of films, tons of movies. Mr. Omar Gooding, he is a comedian, he's a rapper, he's a mogul. He actually is doing a lot of things right now. So if you are in the Georgia area, Atlanta area, and just like down in the southern area, he is doing a lot of events and things like that. And it's pretty cool. He's been in the industry for a long time, and he has grown and he has done a ton of things. And it's pretty incredible. Now, I was just talking about I guess, growing in my cooking journey. And I just made this like a couple days ago, and yeah, I tried to wrap the chicken with bacon fillet and stuff like that. My first time doing it, so I think I did a pretty good job. I'm trying to really, I guess, improve on it and do a lot of stuff. My mom posted it without cutting into it first, and then after she cut into it, she was so surprised. And hey, it's kind of the thing that I want to bring when I do stuff like this, because I like seeing the joy on people's faces when I do what I do. And it's pretty incredible. It's pretty fantastic. And I'm really trying to get better at this because chicken is something I don't often cook. So I'm glad that I was able to do this, and it was really fun, really exciting, because I was planning on doing this. I got all the ingredients and I didn't really know what exactly I was going to do with all of them. And then I got the bacon and it kind of all clicked. And it's just something to me really fun, really exciting, and it's pretty fantastic. I think I did a good job. I'm trying to improve on it, but hey, it's fun. It's something I really want to continue growing in. Now, here is the incredible guy of the hour. But before we get into this, let's talk about. I've been saying, oh, he's this incredible dude. He's an incredible entrepreneur. He's a comedian. He's a rapper. He's a songwriter. He does a lot of this cool stuff. Right now, he's been in the industry for a long time, and he is pretty much an household name, and it's pretty incredible, and it's just awesome having him here today. Now, his music's fantastic, and actually, just a week ago, he was here at the Macon Arts Center, and he was really doing what he does. And I wouldn't even say best, because everything he does is with his heart and with his soul, and it's pretty incredible. But to speak for himself even more, here is Mr. Omar Gooding. How are you doing today, sir?
Blessed and highly favored. How about yourself?
I am doing fantastic.
Awesome.
So, for the very few who don't know who you are, can you give a quick example of who is Omar Gooding?
Omar Gooding is an rapper, a thespian, producer, stand-up comedian, entrepreneur, humanitarian, father, husband. Woo, I'm tired just listening all that.
See, wow.
Had it a long time, man.
Yeah. And I mean, when I heard I had the opportunity to interview with, I was like, "Hey, mom, you sure? You sure this is him, right? This is him." And I'm just really hyped, and I'm really psyched to have the opportunity to talk to you today.
Yeah. How long have you been doing your show, brother?
I've been doing this for 4 years now. I've been doing more in person before the whole pandemic. But hey, this is a great opportunity to reach people all around the world. And
How old are you?
I am 14 now.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I started when I was 9. Let's see, you're 14. Yeah, we started about the same time. Good job, brother. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Definitely in the future. I can feel it. I wish I knew that you were out in Macon. I would try to pull up.
Yeah.
Were you in Macon or you were just in Georgia?
Well, I am in Macon now. We're kind of all around Georgia with what I do, but I am in Macon, and I'm sad I didn't get to see your performance. I know you rocked it.
Yeah, no, I killed it. We got I will be back. Macon was great, man. The Macon Arts Center was awesome. So I had a real good time there. I love the venue. We did a smaller room this first time around and packed it out. So we're gonna graduate to some of the bigger rooms. So you'll definitely catch me the next time around. Also, I'm doing a stage play. May 12th, I believe. 11th or 12th. I'm not quite sure. I should have read that up before I started this interview. In Macon. Whoa. So it's right back in Macon. Yep, May 12th. I'll be right back. I'm also doing a stand-up comedy performance in Atlanta the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of May. Then I'm gonna just roll right into rehearsals for the play out there in Macon. And Rotten Apple by Barry Battle. Lovely, lovely cast, man. Real strong story. Real excited about that. That'll be May 12th.
All right.
Hey,
All right. Okay, to get the ball rolling in this interview,
mm-hmm.
What kind of brought you into the whole entertainment aspect of life?
Well, again, I started when I was 9 years old. So my brother was already in the entertainment industry. He's kind of famous. And he was still relatively new in the business. And I would ride around with him. You know, I was my big bro. 9-year difference between the two of us. So any chance I'd get to hang with my bro, I took, you know. So one day he was picking up a script and he sent me inside to his agent to grab the script for him. And she took one look at me at 9 years old with my smile and, you know, the way I carried myself and how I was speaking intelligibly and understand, you know, let me send you out on some auditions. Okay. And my mom, she finally said yes. And they sent me out on 2 auditions. And remember the first one was terrifying. You know, young kid, big, huge building. It was for some series that I don't even remember what it was. And the second audition, a couple hours later, same day, was for McGruff the Crime Dog, an educational film that went into school. And I booked it. So, you know, to go out on your first time ever having auditions and book one of them, the rest was history. I was there.
Wow. So you said it was an educational film, like children's schools and stuff like that.
Absolutely. There. Don't do drugs. There. Ancient. Ask your mom about there. She'll know there.
Wow. What was it shown at your school?
Not at the school I was at. No. I was always looking for it too. Like maybe it'll come on. But no, I don't think I ever. I do remember I remember flashes of seeing footage of me sitting on the bench saying, "Say no to strangers" and all that stuff. No, I didn't see it.
So you said it was an opportunity to really grow a bond with your brother.
Yeah.
Did it immediately become, I guess, something that pulled at your heartstrings, or how did it kind of flow?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the only time that I ever thought about being an actor, I was watching a show called Star Search. And Star Search had a children's segment. And during the children's segment, these kids came out and said, all right, this is the acting portion. And 2 kids just sat across from each other reading some lines. And they were like, and scene. And they walked off. And I remember thinking to myself, that looks easy. That's like the only thought that I had. I had to be like 7, 8 years old. And, you know, I was always in school plays, you know, always a ham, always, you know, I also rap. So I would write my own raps. And then, you know, I was like 4th grade, I believe. And like the 6th graders were having little ciphers and, you know, rapping. I'd come up with paper, be like, can I get some? They'd be like, oh, go ahead, little old. And, you know, I always knew I'd be an entertainer. My father was an entertainer. Cuba Gooding Sr. of The Main Ingredient. Everybody Plays the Fool. It was a big hit in the 70s. My mother was also a singer. They were both recording artists, signed the labels and had deals. My mother said, I'm going to stay and raise the kids. While my father kept, you know, traveling mostly. And then, you know, when I came into my own, I was just like, yeah, I knew entertainer is what it's going to be.
So how was it navigating the industry with an industry family?
It was fun. I mean, again, my father and my mother were singers, right? They're both from the East Coast. Born in Harlem, raised in the Bronx, and then when they had my brother and sister, both in the Bronx. They moved to California, and then 5 years later, I was born. Then my brother got into acting, you know, another 5 years, 10 years, and then I followed suit. So it was an industry that my mother kind of had to learn on the fly because she managed me. Now, my brother had his own manager and his own agent. But since I was a child, 9 years old, she managed me. And, you know, I had an agent, of course, and a lawyer and so forth and so on. And it was interesting just kind of learning the ins and outs. It was very helpful to me to have a mother that was in showbiz. So she knew what to tell me to get me into these roles, like, you know, how to smile and talk and how to present yourself. She was also born again Christian. And which it's funny, I had a conversation with her earlier. I would always say that my mom got saved and then had me, but she had to correct me the other day and said, no, that's not what happened. I had you, natural childbirth, and then I got saved. So let's just be clear here. So after I was born and she went through what she went through having me, she then gave her life over to the Lord, and it helped keep me level-headed, you know, praying and, you know, getting down on our knees and talking to God when we were confused about things. He would show you the way. Listen, you know, so it was fun for me, it was always fun. And that was like the thing that my brother always said, make sure it's fun. You know, enjoy yourself. When it becomes work, get out, do something else. And I always kind of looked at him like, ain't no get out. You know what I mean? This is what I was kind of born to do. And through the years, I just kept reinventing myself. You know, I landed a series regular role on a show called Wild and Crazy for Nickelodeon.
Just about to ask about that.
Yeah, so Nickelodeon was fun. Being a kid watching Nickelodeon, my Nickelodeon was way different than the Nickelodeon that is now, and the Nickelodeon that even came after me, if you will. But I used to watch like Double Dare and stuff like that, and you know, so when I had a chance of being on my own Nickelodeon show, oh man, I had to beat out 100 kids in this audition, hundreds if not thousands, all across the world, or at least across the country. And that was great, man. We did 3 seasons of that. And as soon as that ended, I booked a show called Hanging with Mr. Cooper. And that went for 5 years. Now, by the time that ends, I'm like 21 years old. You know what I'm saying? And then I get a show called Smart Guy. Immediately after that, I blinked and I'm now 24. You know what I mean? So from like 12 to 24, which is nonstop, you know? And then I got a call from John Singleton about a movie called Baby Boy. The rest was history.
Wow.
Emma.
So you were getting back-to-back full lead roles, and that's incredible.
It's a hell of a start. It's like, man, you can't miss. But I've done a couple other misses since then, so it all evens out.
Wow. How have you, I guess, grown throughout those 9 years in the industry?
How did I grow through those? Well, it was a learning experience every step of the way. I mean, for Wild and Crazy Kids, it was fairly easy. You know, I just had to, it's like I felt like a grown-up amongst the other kids. You know, I'm 12, they're like 9 and 8. And I'm like, I gotta calm down. I gotta read all these lines. Like, you know what I mean? Hanging with Mr. Cooper, I had a great mentor in Mark Curry, who, you know, I learned a lot by kind of just like on the job. You know what I mean? I didn't go to like acting school. I didn't have acting classes. I went to, you know, play production, and I had drama, you know, but I didn't like pay for classes to learn things. So I would have to learn on the job. And Mark Curry was so awesome. I would just watch how he would take a script and make it his own for the tape, you know. And there was a process when you did these sitcoms back in the day, these not sitcoms. You would start on a Monday with a table read, which is basically everybody sitting around a huge table, and all the cast reads, and all the directors or the director and the writers and the producers are there listening and taking notes. And then that'll be your Monday. You know, Tuesday you come in and you block, and they made their notes, so the script will now change because they've heard you read it out loud. There's some jokes that work, some that didn't. They'll make their little changes on Tuesday. Wednesday, more of the same, but also they incorporate the blocking where you go through the positioning of where you're sitting and where you're moving throughout the scene, throughout every scene in the show. Thursday, you start doing run-throughs, which means you just run through the whole show from top to bottom once, and they give you notes and make you run through it again for the studio heads and the producers. And then Friday, in rolls the audience. And when the audience rolls in, that's where all the energy comes. Now we're just like live studio audience, and we're always really nervous because we don't want to mess up. But when we do mess up, the audience really get a kick out of it because that's what they came to see. Like, they've seen the show on TV and there's no mistakes. But to see live, somebody, oh, sorry, wrong word. Everyone starts laughing, and then you gotta get relaxed. And there's nothing like live audience. And I always knew that I'd be on stages in front of large numbers of people just because I love audience. But Mark Curry, watching his process, he would start the week and he would already have done his homework with the script, making changes in the words his own. So I kind of learned how to improv. And, you know, before I even got to that point, the growth process for me was I did maybe a little bit of background work. I would audition and get like a featured extra role. Like, I was on a show called Blossom, and I was one of the kids in the school, but I didn't have lines. But like, every time she went to class, I'd be like the black guy in the class or whatever it was, you know what I mean? And I would learn to just use my face to make facial expressions and listen without words, just listening and going, oh, wow, reacting to stuff until finally I said, yeah, give him a line. And then it would be one line. And I would have to figure out a way to make this one line my moment, you know? And that develops throughout the years as, you know, they would write a script for me.
Wow.
write a script, and then my character would be in it or whatever, and then I would say words, because sometimes you have jokes like punchlines, and sometimes you're just feeding the next actor for their punchline, like a setup. You know, how'd you get in here? I came in through the window. Ha 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 ha. The window is their line. All I get is, how'd you get in here?
Yeah.
So then when they said action, I say, how'd you get in here? Now they go, ha ha ha. They're laughing at how I said that. And now they're like, wait a minute, we got to get him some more jokes. Because all he was supposed to do was set him up. But he said, how'd you get in here so funny? We got to give the guy some more lines. And then that's how it would grow. You know what I mean? So a lot of little tricks of the trade of that, and auditioning rooms where, you know, you're auditioning yourself, which a lot of people don't understand about audition rooms, which are becoming obsolete now. But when you audition yourself in front of live people, half of it is the material. The other half is those people getting to know you and wondering if that you're somebody likable that they'd want to be around for months and months, if not years and years for a series. So, you know, some people are really likable, but maybe not too talented, and they'll get the role over someone else. And it's kind of funny, just knowing that is helpful for actors when they audition and they're not booking, or they're not getting the role that they want or whatever. Then they give it to someone else, and then they watch the movie and go, oh my God, I could have done better than that. Yeah, well, your personality probably sucks. You probably didn't sell yourself in a way that made people want to work with you, even though you were a better actor or actress, you know? So it's helpful to know that, I think, kids that are coming up and young people and older people that are just getting into the business, to know that 99% of the time, if you don't get the job, it's not your fault. It was some other factors involved, and that's why you didn't book it. Well, on the flip side, if you learn how to work a room and how to engage with people and show them your personality, don't be so closed off, and, you know, take a shower and smell good and smile and make people laugh and smile. Yeah. You know, people say, I like this kid, or I like this woman, I like this girl, or this, I like to work with them. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this is a little.
Okay. Now I have a question about really the schedule of live action, the whole thing, because you said Monday you go over table read and stuff like that all throughout till Saturday, you said?
Till Friday.
Till Friday. Mm-hmm. So is that every single week, or how does it go?
Well, let's say, so for Henry Mr. Cooper, we did 25 episodes per season. One episode would take a week, 5 days to shoot. Yeah. So we would typically do maybe 5 or 6 weeks in a row, and then do like a hiatus in the middle, like maybe take a week off, and then do the other 18, 19, whatever it takes to get all the episodes. But usually like a 4 or 5 month span.
When you first got in, was it kind of tiring especially as a child, when like really new to it, then with all these opportunities, you bumped into being a lead character? How was it?
Yeah, I mean, tiring, no. You don't get tired. You're 14, you know, you probably rarely get tired. At that age, it wasn't a lot of work. Wild and Crazy Kids was a lot of work because there was a lot of lines we'd have to read, but we didn't have to memorize it. They would have these large cards, because they would make up these games on the fly, and we had so many that we had to get done. They would just write these big cue cards and have them right next to the camera, and you would just say, "Hi, welcome to Omar Gooding." You know, as long as you can read, you know, you don't have to worry about the memorization. Yeah. But shows like Family Time, I did 91 episodes for the Bounce Network. That was a lot. But now you see how I would say it would take us 5 days to do one episode. Mm-hmm. Well, in 2000 through 2012, however long we shot that series, 91 episodes, we would shoot 13 episodes in a month. 13 episodes in a month. That math ain't mathing, is it? We would do 2 to 3 episodes in a day. And I'm being the lead in the show. I'm in like every other scene. I'd go through the script and be like, goodness gracious, does he take a break? Is he ever not in a scene? Like every scene is me and my wife, or me and my friends and the family, me and the kids talk about something. So that, and shout out to Bentley Evans, man. That show really helped me with my memorization skills, which were already pretty on point. I'll forget your name in a second, but you pay me to memorize some lines, I got it down pat.
You said you were just in Family Time, which was I like, if I watched that, I could sit down for a couple days, just really sink into that. How do you feel when you get to, I guess, sit down and see your accomplishments on the TV?
Yeah, that's fun, man. You know, life moves fast. I'm a big fan of entertainment on the whole, so I like watching TV. I'm, when I either pick a role or perform in a role, I always man that's watching. Will this do them justice? Will this do my legacy justice? Will it, people that are a fan of me, you never want to let them down. You know what I mean? So like with Family Time, the fun of that is it was very near to my life already. Family man, married, got kids. You know what I mean? And we had stand-up comedians as writers, not just your typical writers. And a lot of comic rooms, writer rooms have like stand-up comedians. But I would get specific, hot, still performing stand-up comedians. Like shout out to my man Charles Allen, and he would come in as a punch-up writer, and he would help me think of a new punchline for every joke and every take. That we wrote that show to be laugh out loud funny. It's like some shows you'll watch and they're funny, but you'll watch it like this. That, you know what I mean? But you won't laugh. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? And that was our goal on that show. Like you watch one episode, you're laughing out loud throughout the episode. We're not taking a scene or two to punch up to get to one big punchline like later in the show or something like that. You're laughing constantly. Me and the Rachel character going back and forth and snapping on each other and stuff like that. It was very fast-paced. It was very fun.
Wow. When did you, I guess, start into comedy?
As far as stand-up?
Yeah.
So that's a fun story. So what happened, I think the first time I ever did stand-up comedy, like officially on stage, I was invited to a comedy club. And this had to be about 10 years ago. So and I said, I'm going to send a limousine for you. That's how you know it's a long time. Limousine. And they sent a limousine for me and drove me out to the Redlands out in California. It was like an hour and a half drive. I lived in Portland at the time. And when I got there, I had a pretty good time. And halfway through the show, it's going great. The guy walks up and he says, would you mind, maybe getting on stage and saying hello to everybody? And I'm like, it's kind of weird in the middle of a comedy show, but whatever. So, another comment goes up and goes down. And then the host, he says, we got a very, very, very funny comedian coming to the stage. You guys are going to love him. He's hysterical. You guys just start clapping right now. You've seen him in Hanging with Mr. Cooper, Smart Guy, Baby Boy. And I start looking around like, I must know who this is because he's been in everything I've been in. Who is he about to call up? And, Omar Gooding. I was like, seriously? So I get on stage and it's, I just, you put a mic in my hand in front of people, I'm going to just go. So everything I said, it was funny. Just the light was bright. I said, damn, it felt like an interrogation up in here. And they started chuckling, and everything I said, one thing led to the next, and it was funnier and funnier, and I just was just vamping. I had no written jokes. I actually had one joke that I wrote. And I said, if you guys really want me to be funny, you need to have a team of writers because I work, on a show with writers. So I don't write my own joke. And they didn't really get that one. So I was just like, let me go back to freestyling. So then I just said something about this and something about that. Said the wrong thing again, and it got kind of quiet because I called everybody Hicks because I don't know where I was. I was like, I can't believe all you Hickses laughing. They were like, excuse me? I was like, oh, anybody see Baby Boy? Yeah. And I said something about Baby Boy, and I jumped off the stage. I was probably up there maybe 4 or 5 minutes, which felt like 30. And people said, man, you should do this more often. You were great. I was like, was I? I was saying the wrong thing left and right, but y'all were laughing, so I got on stage. And after that, I would host comedy shows. Now, for me, hosting is easy. Hosting is easy because you come out, you greet the people, you make them clap and get engaged, like, make some noise for yourselves, any birthdays, a little easy stuff. Yeah. You try a joke or two. If the joke doesn't work, or if they get quiet or you run out of material, you could just say, y'all ready for your first comment? Or are you ready for your next comment? Or move right along, you know what I mean? So hosting was always very easy to do. It's like, but it actually began officially for me about a year ago, where I was hosting in San Antonio at the Upstage Comedy Lounge with my man Charles Allen as the main act and my man Charlie Mack as the headliner. So I had a couple of great little bits that I wrote about the Montgomery brawl that just happened with the guy who threw his hat in the air. So, I came out with my hat on and whatnot, and had a white guy come up first, and then when he wouldn't leave, I threw my hat in the air, and everybody started laughing, and then I had a couple more little written jokes, and I talked about this, that, and the third. And then I brought on the next act, and the next act, and the next act, and we finished, and that was it. So my friend Charles said, why don't you try just doing a set? And I was like, no, man. Well, you mean just stay up there, you call my name, and I have to be up there for like 15, 20 minutes? I was like, nah, man, I'm a host. That's not what I do. And he said, you should try it, man. I think you do all right. And why not? And we had 4 shows. So for the last 2 shows, I said, let's try it, man. And we went through the whole show, and then right towards the end, they said, "All right, make some noise for Omar Gooding." And I came out, and I rocked it, man. I rocked it, no lie. When I finished, it felt like it went fast to me. When I went through all the material that I had prepared and a couple of little freestyle things, I said, "Time, see you later." And I remember the first reaction I got was they went, "Oh," which is an awesome compliment if you're a comic and you're like, "Well, I'm done. That's my time." And they're like, "No, please stay." You know what I mean? And I said, "Well, I'll be back a little bit later." You know, and they're like, "All right, well, good job." They standing up, whatever. But then when I got off stage, I was like, "Man, I think I got off too short. I probably only did like 5 minutes." He's like, "Bro, you up there for 18 minutes." I was like, 18 minutes in the stand-up world is an eternity, you know? But it was just kind of, it was flowing. Yeah. I was thinking a little too fast. Sometimes I get my head going. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. So I watched the tape back and I studied it. And, you know, you work from there. You know, since then I've done 10, 20 different clubs. I've headlined. I've out in Virginia. I did 4 shows in 3 nights, which was grueling. It was tough, man. And I was just like, it's different animals, different beasts. But there's so many different things that go on with that now that I'm learning on the fly. And I'm coming in at a different angle because it's not like I'm an up-and-coming artist without a name who just happens to be funny. So I have a name first, and I also happen to be funny. So people are booking me based on that. Like a lot of people, I ain't gonna lie to you, they'll show up just to see, can I get a selfie with the guy from Baby Boy? And they'll leave going, "Oh my God, funny. How long have you been doing stand-up?" And other comics are telling me and pulling me to the side like, "Bro, you really fast tracking on getting to where you're at," which all culminates in my very first special at the Atlanta Comedy Corner, a single mile weekend in A.K.A, Georgia.
Wow. Okay. Now you really just picked it up in a year and we're really rolling with it. Does having let me rephrase that. Does being in like shows like Family Time, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, and all these comedy shows kind of, I guess, help you with making material? Because especially you said Family Time was written with the help of comics and all these people.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it was a stepping stone, but it's not like if you just do a sitcom, you can do stand-up. Like, this is an anomaly. I mean, I'll pat myself a little bit on the back. I've seen guys that have been on sitcoms and then go up on stage, and I'm just like, So it's not, you just have to take it serious. You can't think, "Oh, well, I can do it. I'm funny. I make people laugh all the time. Let me get on stage." No. Because you'll get that wall. That, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the unspoken thing that happens to you when you're up there in front of people and they're looking at you like, "Make me laugh." Now, most of them are nice, and of course they come to a comedy club, so they want to laugh, but they're not just going to laugh because you're standing up there. You know, so there's things you learn on the job on how to push through those moments when you're like, "Ooh, it's quiet in here." You know, some people get uncomfortable when it's quiet. You know, I've had comics tell me, learn to live in those quiet moments. Let it be quiet. You know what I mean? Take a sip of your water, wipe your sweat off your brow. Take a moment. Laugh with the joke. Let it breathe. You know what I mean? Where I am always like, all right, after I got the first one, now I got to get the second one loaded up. All right, get it, blah, 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 blah. And that's when I started. That's where I was. But now I've realized, you got to be on the road. You got to go out and travel. You got to go city to city. You got to go to the local clubs, and you got to move around. And for me, it's really, really satisfying to be able to give back to my fans who have watched me, to meet them. Because I love going out. Like me, I'm different. I don't just stay at home or, so forth and so on. I like to be out. If I'm out in your city, I'm out in your city. You know what I mean? People are like, "What are you doing here?" They're always shocked, like, "Oh man, where's your security?" I'm like, "Oh, he's right there. Don't trip." I just ain't got them standing behind me, like, you know what I mean? But I move how I move because I like people. I like giving back, and I love having conversations like this, like, taking interviews with you. And, I usually do this while I'm out. People say, "Oh man, can I ask you a question?" And 30 minutes later, we're like, "Yeah," and that's how I got started. So it's fun, man. It's definitely an enjoyable ride, man, and it's like, I feel like it's just getting started.
Well, now also on the topic of comedy and hosting comedy, and I guess also TV shows, you also have a show called Funny AF.
Yes.
And what kind of brought that into
Great question. So with Funny AF, that again started about 2 years ago, where I would have a local comedy room in LA, and we would go every Wednesday. I got a host, by the name of comedian Warren V. And my role when this began was to be I kind of made up my own role. It's like, you don't remember, but there's a show called Def Comedy Jam.
Yes.
Russell Simmons, right? So that's when Martin Lawrence really got his big break. And then at the end of it, Russell Simmons would come on and he would say, "What? Thanks for coming out. God bless. Good night." Every night he would say something different this time. He's like, "Thanks for coming out. God bless. Good night." Right? So I'm like, well, as a presenter of the show, I can come out and do that at the end, but I also want to start off the show. Now, starting off the show is hard. If you're a comic, you understand. A lot of comics say, "I don't want to go first." Put somebody else first. And then once the crowd is warmed up, bring me up once the energy's going. Because, like I said, sometimes people just get there, they just spend their money on their drinks, their food. They might even still be chewing. They're looking up at you like, "Boy, you better be funny." And it was my job to welcome everybody, get them ready to laugh, lay down the ground rules. This is what we about to do tonight. Kick a couple of jokes, and then give it off to my host, who's high energy and high fast pace, and he's really just very animated and very, very, very funny. And then he carries us through the evening, and then I come back on at the end as well, and then we do a couple more jokes and close the night out, and then see. So that's the structure of Funny AF Comedy Show, and it's filmed by One Shot Films, my man Curtis Ellerson, and he brought in multiple cameras so that it had the feel of like maybe a Netflix special or something like that. We get it from all different angles. We have our DJ Sype, who's spinning in and out. So the music is great. The intro song by myself, on Welcome to the Show, because yes, I do. I do got bars. I have bars as well.
I'm about to talk about it.
We'll get to that. I'm looking up at the time too, so we'll talk about it in a second. But so with Funny AF, what we did is we filmed a whole season at the Los Globos nightclub on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, California, and we packaged it and gave it to Tubi. So it's streaming now on Tubi. The interesting thing about that, which I haven't done a whole lot of publicity on it yet, they made a mistake on the title. It should say Omar Gooding Presents, but it just says Funny AF. And for some reason, they allowed us to put our show on Tubi. And there's another show called Funny AF on Tubi right now that came out in 2019. So when you put Funny AF in Tubi, 2 shows pop up. Well, look for the one with my face on it. Until we get this name change corrected, and you'll be able to find it a little bit easier. But that is streaming on Tubi, so support that. Check that out. Once again, it's 7 episodes of, 3 or 4 of the funniest comics in the country. Female, male, white, black. We got a nice mix of everybody on there, and they're truly funny. And you got to understand, every time we film a show, we would have between 7 to 11, maybe even 12 comics every night. And then we just pick and choose the 4 or 5 funniest and then make an episode out of it. You understand? So there's no hit or misses. You got a name like Funny AF, it better be Funny AF. So every episode is hysterical because we picked and chose the best comics from every night that performed.
So with the filming of it, are you going to be filming it soon for a live audience, or how does that work?
Yeah, so this one obviously was a live audience. We finished the entire first season. It's now streaming. We're gonna let that breathe a little bit, and then we will start back up. I'm thinking around the end of the summer. I got a lot of touring to do. Once I finish with all this road work, then I want to stay home for a while, and I'll start my show back up.
Wow, all right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, also talking about comedy shows and things of the matter, you are in a lot of them coming up. You are in. Let me get the name of this one. It's not right there, but First off, let's actually talk about one I actually have, I guess, a close connection to at the Uptown Comedy Center.
Yes, sir.
I actually interviewed the owner of it, co-owner, and
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. That's going to be my special. So it's on May 3rd through the 5th. Now, here's the deal. May 3rd, we're doing 2 shows. Do a 7 o'clock and a 10 o'clock. May 4th, same thing, 2 shows. May 5th, only 1 show at 8 o'clock. And here's the spoiler alert. I will be filming my special on the 4th and the 5th. I'm sorry, on the 4th for those 2 shows. I'll wear the same outfit. I'll give about an hour and a half, work the material in one, and another hour and a half in, and then I'm gonna cut it together and make it the best thing ever. So that's the day, the 4th. If you want to see my special live, then come for the 4th. On the 3rd, this is going to be a fantastic show. I will probably host both of those shows and just fine-tune my jokes for the next day throughout that one. Plus, I have Charles Allen, who's amazing, and Charlie Mack, who is awesome. Both of these guys will be co-headlining on all 3 nights with me, right? So, and then on Cinco de Mayo, it's going to be a party. I got a couple of local guys that are coming out too. Should have loaded their names up before this interview. That's my bad. If they watch it, like, you better shout me out. Follow me, Omar Gooding, on Instagram. Not hard to find. Scroll through. You'll see I posted on there. If you want tickets for any of these shows upcoming, you go into my bio, tap the link, and then scroll down and pick the date and pick the city. We got Dallas. We got San Antonio. We got this one right here, Cinco de Mayo, when I'll be taping my special. I will be going back to Macon, and we're currently putting together an additional 20-city tour. So I'm going to be just about everywhere before the year's out.
I'm actually about to pull up the things for Dallas, and the other one's right
Keep coming.
now. All right. Now, this is in the Up in the Smoke comedy, which, I mean, I have to see one of these. Uptown Comedy Center. I'm
Oh, Up in Smoke is a good one. We're going to do that April 20th in San Antonio. And the beauty of this one's near and dear to my heart because it is I would say almost 1-year anniversary of the first time I actually did a full set, 15 minutes long, where they called me out and I rocked out. And that's the one my man Charles Allen pictured on the left and right. The brother. He said, man, get up there and do a whole set, man. And he was right there at Upstage. So I said, man, I got to get back to Upstage Comedy out in San Antonio. They showed out. They sold out all 3 shows last time I came. So y'all do the same thing for me. I can't wait to see how I do.
Now we also have the one in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. That's Hyenas. That's gonna be a great show, man. I'm bringing in a couple special acts, a couple local cats too. And it's fun, man. It's fun every time it evolves. So that one, let's see. I can't see the date. You have me squinting, but I'm watching it on the phone. That is, I believe it's in June. Can you read it?
Yes, I can, and that is going to be at June 30th.
June 30th, yeah. Look. Got my old man. Let me do my old man squint. Yes, June 30th. So that's fun, man. Right in the middle of the summer. So y'all, Dallas, I need y'all to calm down with that heat. Because I was playing games when I was in San Antonio in August. I need y'all to chill on that heat. I'd rather have like June gloom. I don't know if y'all do June gloom, but when I come out there in June, I need that June gloom. I don't need that heat. Disrespect all right. When I get out there. That's all I'm saying, Dallas. Y'all hear me? They didn't know I'm talking to. Tell that son to calm down.
All right. We hear you. Now, also, I am going to bring this up a little bit later, but we do have a audience question right here. What was your experience filming Baby Boy with Tyrese Gibson?
It was a great experience, man. I mean, I was 24 years old. Changed my body. Coming off of Smart Guy, I think I was like 220, 30 pounds, something like that. When I started filming Baby Boy, I was 198. Lean muscle, cut up. When you're 24 years old, it's easy to lose weight, man. You ain't got to know about these weight problems. And you got to lose a long time, my man. So you figure out that getting old, we get in your 40s and stuff, don't just fall off like it used to. But Baby Boy was awesome, man. I met some lifelong friends. I worked with the late, great John Singleton, who really changed my life, if not the trajectory of my career, by giving me the opportunity to show the world the other side of my acting abilities. So, up until that point, I had mainly just done sitcoms and comedy. I starred in a TV movie, made-for-television movie for TNT called Freedom Song, alongside Jason Weaver, my buddy from Smart Guy, and it was about the first sit-ins in Mississippi. So there was a scene, and I posted it. Go ahead and follow me online. Go to Omar Gooding, scroll down. You'll see I posted the actual scene.
Okay.
And we're fresh off of Smart Guy. No, it's great stuff. When you go down, you check the scene out, and it's me and Jason Weaver in the same thick as thieves to the end, and we're sitting down at the lunch counter trying to get arrested to start the movement in Mississippi about the first sit-ins. And we accomplished that and get arrested. And John Singleton was watching that film, and he said he saw something in my eyes, and he said, I'm going to send you a script for this movie called Baby Boy. When I saw that script, oh my God, I grew up in LA. Not the heart of LA per se. Like I lived in LA for a few years in my later adulthood, but I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, but LA County is my home.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of friends, a couple friends that grew up in Compton, a couple in South Central and Watts. And I've been to their homes and their hoods and whatnot. I was very familiar with Crenshaw Boulevard. Sundays would be out there with everybody low riding and whatnot. So a lot of the material in Baby Boy was none of it was like, oh man, how do I do this? What does this mean? No, everything it blew my mind because that part of my life I kept personal. To be a kid that grew up from 9 years old to 47 now, you see things. You've seen a large body of work. You just go through my resume like, yeah, boy, I've been in everything. Yes. But you don't see my private life. People say, oh, I know you because I watch Smart Guy so much. Nah, a part of me. You know what I mean? Then you watch Baby Boy and Smart Guy and Family Time. Then you'll have a closer understanding of who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so now we get like an earlier view with Baby Boy. Then we get like a later view with Family Time. So we kind of get a peek in. We got to get a peek in.
Yeah, you got a little peek. And that's what I love about stand-up because, I'm a writer anyway. So it's just like doing music. When I do songs, I write my songs. I get to tell my story. You know what I mean? And especially in stand-up, my life, God is hilarious. He'll give you the material. He'll give you all the material you need. You just got to pay attention and listen. So now I experience things differently, meaning life. Something is funny to me or upsetting to me, I'll write it down and then turn it into a joke. And then later it'll be therapy on stage.
Okay. Now, I just saw the time and I'm like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah, I know. It goes fast.
Yeah. If you have any audience questions, I'm trying to get some audience questions and I have a lot more to talk about. So if you have any questions or any questions, please just make sure to put them in the comments and maybe we'll have some time for them. Now, music. You just talked about writing and you just way earlier into the interview, you said that your mom is in the music industry. And does that kind of connect with it? Did that kind of influence it?
Absolutely. See, my father was Cuba Gooding Sr., the main ingredient, listed as hits, Everybody Plays the Fool, Rolling Down the Mountainside. My mother was signed to a group as well. And, she decided to stay home and be the homemaker while Pops went out and did what he had to do to make money. So when we grew up, we would listen to a lot of our father's music. My father was a very good singer. He was a lead singer. And his voice, right up to the day he died, he could hit notes that were just out of this world. And he developed and honed that skill. And, people that spoke about him after he passed, just like his voice was comparable to just like a straight up instrument. Like the things he could do with his voice was insane. So his range was out of this world, the notes, the breath control, everything. And he was articulate, you know what I mean? So, and a lot of that goes into it. So then when I started doing music, it's funny, every time a new generation of music comes about, the generation before, for the most part, goes, that ain't music. My music was real music. That ain't real music. And so on and so forth. We listened to Boyz II Men and Jodeci and stuff like that. Our parents would be like, what? No. That ain't real singing. You got to listen to the OJs and your father and everybody, So then when I tell them I'm rapping now, he rolled his eyes like, oh, good Lord. You kidding me, boy? Yeah, ain't nobody want to hear that. But when he heard my music, lyrics that mean something, always trying to make a point, trying to be clever, if not, saying something impactful, contributing to hip hop in a way that's, be it positive or negative. It's just, music is it's for the soul, but it's also, it's a mood, it's a vibe. I get in the car and I turn on my radio or I put on a CD or I stream something. I want to hear something depending on the mood I'm in. You understand me? So when I write, I think about that. Like this is a club song, or this is a summer vibe, or maybe this is a love song. You know what I mean? In the sense of something either for someone I love that tells that story. Because love songs are different now. They ain't what they used to be. It's not like I'm gonna put this on when she comes over. Like nah. But there's different levels to different writers and artists.
Yeah.
On. So, going on that journey of me developing my hip hop voice was fun. I started listening to, the first song I ever memorized was on the East Coast, was The Show by Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. And I actually performed it, lip synced it with my best friend at the time, Raymond, in 4th grade. So in 4th grade, we up there, we did the show.
Yeah.
And after that, I started writing my own lyrics. And then I kind of flash forward to like high school, and I think of the Far Side. That was my favorite group growing up. And all like four of my best friends, we would all pick a verse. And every time we drive to the beach or ride around or drive to Crenshaw, whatever it is, we would all pick a verse and bust the verse. Like, you know what I mean?
Wow.
That developed into an actual group. And we actually got signed. We released a we had a single deal with Thump Records. We released Mamacitas. And at the time, I believe our name was like Legion or something. Like, we kept changing names of our groups. It was kind of crazy. Because there's another interesting thing about me and music is when I started, because I already had a name as an actor, if I say, yeah, I rap, they expecting some type of like commercial rap or, some funny rap. Or one time we auditioned for these cats, John Sally, as a matter of fact. And I brought my group into John, and we were competing in the Budweiser Best of the West competition that happens in LA. They used to happen all the time. So I'm not sure if they still do it now. And we made it pretty far. We didn't win it, but we got, pretty far ahead. But they didn't allow you to curse. Oh. So trying to find a way to be as edgy as we could, to be hip hop and street, but without cursing. And we accomplished it. So a lot of people would hear us and have no idea we didn't even curse, just because of how raw it was and how clever we were with our wordplay. So when we auditioned for John Sally to be a part, I guess he had a label at the time. I remember the first thing he said was, I noticed you didn't have any swear runs. And we were like, we kind of proud of that. Like, yeah, he's like, it was hard. Y'all sound good. But have you ever thought about doing gospel? And we were just like, no, so it's kind of funny. My music changed after that.
Yeah,
a lot more profanity after that. And then you kind of have to find the common ground. You know what I mean? Of course, you want to express yourself. You don't want to limit yourself to certain words. But if you want to be played on the radio, you might as well trim it up as much as you can anyway. And that was fun, man. But it wasn't until I turned 40 years old 7 years ago, and my wife became pregnant with my firstborn son, Omar Jr. And while she was pregnant, I felt this idea, which was like, because I when you get to 40 years old, you sit there thinking, I'm probably not gonna have kids, But when it did happen, I was just like, now I'm thinking of things that I'd never thought of before, like, what am I gonna tell him when he's this age? Or if I get to have a conversation with him and say, your dad does this.
I mean, my mom was like 36 and 37 when she had me.
She same boat, right around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking to myself, what if I try to tell my son that I can rap? Yeah, man, your dad used to spit and blah, blah, blah. And he'd be like, yeah, where's your album at then? And that encouraged me to do my first album. And it was called The Excuse, produced by Bernard Edwards Jr., A.K.A. Focus, ... from Aftermath. And it was brilliant. It's a great album, which I had out for a few years and I took it down. There's only 2 singles available now, Swim and Homage. Now, Homage, let me rewind it a little bit. Homage is my homage to Busta Rhymes, because he is one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's on my top 5, of mine, because he's a performer, he's never let me down, and he's lyrical, right? Now, when I saw him perform live, I was like, this is amazing. He was in like a small room. I think we were on the set of a TV show that he was doing. He just rocked this room so insanely. I was just like, this man is amazing. And I always remembered that as far as being a showman. But it's very fast. It's double time. You know what I mean? So when you hear the song, you're like, is that Omar? He's spitting? Pay homage to the nigga that I love, because I love when the nigga go live on the record. Even when, you know what I'm saying? It's so fast.
Yeah.
And the beat is so intense, and people are like, oh man. So I did a video for it, and there's a clip, and also I'm gonna probably post it after this video, because I haven't posted it in a while after this interview, of the music video. And if you can see, you go to my YouTube channel, and you can see the full music video. Link of that also is in my bio. And at the beginning of the video, it's me and Jason Weaver playing detectives, trying to find Big O, which is when I released the album. That's what I released it under. So again, there's a lot of things I want to talk about with that, because when I started rapping, some people would see me like on stage and go, oh, that's that actor. You know what I mean? That and like the gospel comment made me try to hide myself. Like, I'm not gonna just go out as Omar Gooding. I'm gonna go out as Big O. Yeah, there it is. That's the intro right there. And because of that, it made my music hard to find because there's another rapper by the name of Big O. So I said, all right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put out an album. I took down the Excuse album and re-released it a few years ago under Omar Gooding. So now when you put in Omar Gooding in Apple Music or Spotify and all the other streaming platforms, you'll see the body of work. So I have that. I did another album with Stolly Ray, another childhood friend of mine. And most recently, I put out a 10-song EP, if you will, kind of like a mixed record. You know, it's more like a mixtape album because it's just 10 songs, just straight songs that I had been sitting on for a while. But I'm going to actually put out a new album that has a few of those songs and then 6 or 7 more that I want to add to it to make it nice and full. But that is called Succession. And a lot of the posts that I have on my Instagram now, you'll see music at the top and it'll say Omar Gooding. People are like, where can I get this music? It's out there. It's under Succession by Omar Gooding. That is produced by Stephen Keys, the Mogul Ellis. And he's just an absolute savage. So I'm happy to have met him. And we got a lot more to come, baby.
A lot more to go. And I can tell you're really passionate about music and everything that you do with just the way you talk. And yes, I know probably some of it is just being what you are and who you do and what you are and what you do. And it's just being an entertainer. But I could see that you're very passionate and you just love the craft and love the art of it. And it's incredible.
Very true.
It's incredible. Now, before we get wrapped up, because it's getting close, like it's inching towards me. It's kind of pushing me. But we have SplatCon, which is I'm guessing it's kind of a reunion of all the childhood favorites.
And they reached out to me a few weeks ago and they asked if I wanted to be a part of it, and I said absolutely. And then they invited the rest of the other hosts from Wild and Crazy Kids, along with a host of other shows from Nickelodeon. Now they're not, it's not Nickelodeon, it's called SplatCon, and they're like for the fans, by the fans organization that put this big convention together in October, and it will be on my birthday, October 19th. I was like, oh, I'm definitely gonna do that. Plus I'm gonna bring my son, 7 and 4-year-old, they're gonna get a huge kick out. Yeah, and then we're also putting together a comedy show that we're gonna do that weekend, so. Staying busy, man. Yeah, man.
Yes. And we also have, I guess, kind of a throwback video of you.
Put a lid on it, I'll tell you. Now it's called a raging relay race. And to play it, we've taken over 5 of the craziest rides at Raging Waters. We've got 2 teams of kids, boys against girls.
Very angry kid.
I'm guessing that TJ's acting out over some unresolved issues. Have there been any changes in the home situation recently? I visited the school psychologist once or twice.
Lucky for me.
When we go back, where are we gonna live?
I don't know. Well, until we get enough money for a place of our own, think we should stay in your room or mine?
Well, my room has my younger sister, so.
Mine's got bunk beds.
Wow. And I just saw like
right when I hit puberty too, as you're watching the flashback, right from right between Wild Crazy Kids and Hanging with School.
Wow. And I saw like your face immediately. I was like, wait, that's young me. Oh. And then I was like, wow. It's just seeing kind of you grow up, and it's pretty. It's awesome. I mean, I might have to go to wherever I could to find some of just you, because even when you're young, you just talk so charismatic, and so.
Yeah, man, you can get Smart Guys. I think Smart Guys is still on Disney Plus. You know, and the one thing I did leave out that I do want to plug, because it was such a big part of since this pandemic hit through the strike and everything. I did a series for Disney that we filmed out in Chicago. And we have 15 episodes that you can find on Disney Plus. The show is called Saturdays, like the day of the week. And it is about the roller skating culture in Chicago. So I learned how to skate. I can slide on them things like Usher now. Well, maybe not like Usher, he's a bad boy, but you know what I mean? It was a great experience out there. We did do 15 episodes. There won't be any more episodes of that. But I do want you to check it out. You know, I play Cal. It was Cal and Deb B. Bacon, which is my I was the husband. The wife was Golden Brooks. So I'm getting late and get tired out here. Golden Brooks, who plays my wife on the show from Girlfriend. She is awesome. She was one of my favorite co-stars ever of all time. She's right up there, top 3, easy. And we killed it, man. We had such a good time out there filming out in Chicago. Shout out to that whole young cast. They have a very bright future, and I can't wait to see them again, work with them again. Shout out to Norman Vance and everybody was part of that, and Disney for giving us another shot at it. But if you like Smart Guy and Hanging with Cooper and family time, this is a perfect show for you. It has something for everyone, from my generation all the way down to our daughter who's competing. She's 16 years old, and she's competing to become a golden in the show, and that's her drive to become one of the best skaters in the town. So very good show. Saturdays, check it out. Dig it. It did win an NAACP award for writing, so we're proud of that. Congrats to them. Congrats to us. And yeah, man, I think that's about it. I think I covered it all, man. I covered it all.
All right. Now, thank you so much for coming on. If you can, for one quick question, there is an audience question. Are you willing to answer
question?
It says, does being in LA, being born in LA, how does the LA riots affect you?
The LA riots?
Yeah, on I guess a personal scale.
Man, them LA riots I think I was 5. They didn't affect me at all, man. They kept me inside. Look.
Yeah, you got to say
one person on there talking about how them LA riots affect him. Baby, they didn't affect me at all, baby. I wasn't in the LA riots. I didn't get out and get no new TV, new flat screen, none of that. I was asleep. Baby sleep. LA riots. No, but I mean, none of the things that happen out here in LA are as traumatic as they seem to everyone else. You know, it gets a little bit of rain out here, and people call me left and right. Y'all all right with that rain? We know y'all people can't drive in the rain. I know they can't drive. It's all right. We know to stay inside. We've learned how to drive better in the rain. It'll be less road rage. It's craziness out here. But I can't complain about LA, man, especially since I've been everywhere else. We have the best weather in the world. You know, it's a little pricey, but that's why I go out on the road and get this money. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah. Yes. Now, before you get off, can you tell the audience where can find you? Where can we find more information about the events, the play that's going to be happening in Macon? You're going to see my face in the crowd. Maybe
good.
I'll make sure to shine my teeth so the lights reflect off it. You'll know.
There it is. I'll be looking for you, man. Omar Gooding on Instagram. That's the easiest way to do it. I have a Facebook. I got a TikTok, Omar Miles Gooding, all that jazz. But you go to Instagram first and go to the link in my bio. You can click on the link to see my all of the shows that I have coming, all of the upcoming shows. All the ticket links are on there. You can go on my YouTube channel and see all of the video. I got all of my music videos up there. Some behind the scenes stuff. I got a little bit of work to do on my YouTube channel. But basically just Omar Gooding. I'm trying to make it easy to find me. You know what I'm talking about? It's a pleasure to meet you, my brother. You keep your thing going, man. You do a wonderful job with this platform, man.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry that dogs, you know how dogs be, but I really appreciate it.
I'm running in there yet. I told him, you be quiet. It'll be 30 minutes. It's about an hour and 4, but it's all good. It's a pleasure, brother.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
If you can you say just a minute longer after I do my outro so I can talk to you?
Copy that.
Thank you. And thank you to the wonderful audience out there in the audience. Now, before you get off, you know what time it is. It's time for our sponsors, and it's also time for some on-time sunwear, for some nice, affordable sunwear. I mean, sunwear for the winter, the fall, the spring, the summer, for classic, family time, for some fun time, for some clubbing, for some business wear. Hey, if you want some nice, affordable shades, just please check out On Time Sunwear in the description below, or just look them up on Instagram. Incredible sunglasses, incredible dude, just incredible. I got a couple. They nice. And also the Mitchell's Academy of Music and Dance. Now, I've been with the Mitchells for 2 years now, and I could see my improvement. They are incredible. The Mitchells love music. They know music. Music just lives and breathes within them, and it's beautiful. I mean, Mr. Mitchell, he's been with countless people. He performed for countless venues, countless places, and it's just incredible. So if you have a passion for music and or dance, please check out the Mitchell's Academy of Music and Dance. Now, final thing. I am an honoree for the Heaven Help One Help All Constellations Award. And hey, if you are in the area, please check it out. I mean, I do get nominated and I do get seen a lot, but I don't really think about it because most of the stuff I'm doing is really showing off other people and really just showing what other people do. So it's really just fun when I get to, I guess, do stuff like this. So again, thank you so much to Miss Heaven for doing this, and please check it out. Now, thank you all so much for coming on. Thank you. Make sure to like, subscribe, and to share, and stay tuned. Peace.